Hi, I'm Mariah Einsphar, and I am teaching this lesson plan on 3D shapes, basically to help my students understand what quadrilaterals are and how they all equal 4 sides. I am going to use a couple different tools. I'm going to be using my whiteboard to explain to them and for them to see in visual what the shapes all look like. And then I also have actual shapes. Let me just grab these over here. I apologize. These shapes for them to actually touch and hold and be able to see for themselves how many sides each shape has. And then once I do that, they're going to be put into groups, and then I will explain to them to go ahead and write down what they were able to find from looking at these shapes, and they should be able to figure out that they all equal the same side. And then after they are in groups for about 2 to 4 minutes, we'll go over our findings. And they should be able to figure it out with 80% accuracy, so this is our first lesson. Now recapping, I'm going to demonstrate what this would look like. I will have my students look at each shape, rectangle, square, and triangle, and I'm going to have them be able to see that all sides will equal 4. I'm also going to do this by using a visual instrument, and also use it as an assessment tool where I will give them 3D shapes so they are able to look at it themselves and be able to see that they all equal 4 sides. Thank you. Okay. Hello students, today we are going to be talking about quadrilaterals. Does anybody know what a quadrilateral is? Yes, it is a 4-sided figure. So we're going to talk about 3 quadrilaterals today. Someone tell me what that shape is? Triangle, very good. Our second shape. Sarah? Square, very good. And our third shape. You know what? I might have to redo this one. Sorry, class. John, what's that shape? Rectangle, very good. Now, this is kind of easy to tell. Everybody count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 sets. Okay, let's count our square shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 sides as well. Now the triangle is a little tricky because when you look at it from this, it looks like 3 sides. And my marker's giving out. That's okay though, we can see that. Okay, we're gonna do this a little bit darker this time. Got a new marker. All right, class, so you can tell right here that this is 3 sides. But when we look at these shapes in a 3D form, let's start with the rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have the triangle, which has its face, 1, back, 2, and its sides, 3, 4. So if you look at all of our 3D shapes, they all have how many sides? 4, exactly. All right, class, so now I'm going to let you all look at the shapes, let you touch them, feel them, and count them by yourselves. And as you do this, count them slowly and write down what you found for each one. Okay? Let me see this one, John. Okay, let's count this one again. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Did you guys all see that? Crap, I should have given it 10 seconds longer for them to try it. We counted this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, looking at all the shapes by yourselves and counting them by yourselves, what were you able to figure out? That they all equal the same. So quadrilaterals are 4 sides, and our quadrilaterals are, Sarah? That's right. Square, rectangle, and triangle are 3D shapes. Okay. Okay. Now I want to split you guys all up into 4 groups. So you'll be group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Give you each shapes, and I want you to draw them out by yourselves and talk about them. Now this would be the time where I would walk around and see what the students were doing. Each group has gone over the shapes again and what their all sides equal to, and we have all decided that it is still 4 sides for each one, for our rectangle, square, and triangle. Students are now able to understand what quadrilaterals are and how they equal 4 sides. Now this is about the time where I would talk to my ELL students and my ESC students and tell them what I would have them do. So for the ELL students, I have my Spanish speaker and I have my Japanese speaker. One is level 1 and one is level 2. And I will have them hold up all of the shapes and express in words what each shape would mean. And I would also have them write it down on a sheet of paper. And then for the ESC students, I have autism spectrum disorder, I have deaf or hard of hearing, and then I have blindness or impaired. For the autism, a speech and language therapist to help them be able to express what shapes they're looking at, and also a point and respond computer. So it's a digital computer where it would have the shape buttons on it as well as numbers so that they can hit exactly what number they are looking for and what shapes I am looking for. And then for the blindness or impaired student, sign language, I would have an assistant help me, and I also know a little bit. And then also a Braille worksheet so that they could try to point out the shapes to me and be able to tell me what quadrilaterals are and that they equal to 4. And then my hard of hearing student and Braille student, I would give them an extra 20 minutes to do the activity while the other kids are in their groups deciding what other shapes are. And then while the other students are going for 20 minutes extra time, I would have my students identify other shapes. So for my language speakers, the Spanish student and the Japanese student, I would pull them aside and speak one-on-one to them. They are going to have a little bit of a harder time understanding what exactly I'm looking for. They might not be familiar with the term quadrilateral, so I would take them aside and we would talk about what quadrilateral means. I would try to bring it back into their own language, like using numbers like, dos, and relate it back. Most of the time they're pretty good with numbers, speaking of math, but quadrilateral might be a little challenging, so I'll try to use something in their language that would help connect that. And then I would each give them a shape and allow them to try to connect it themselves and then ask me for whatever help they needed. There's one. Japanese student would be a little bit of a harder scenario just because I'm not very familiar with that language, but I would have an assistant help me, and I would look up a video online to help the Japanese student understand what each shape meant. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. The goal of this lesson was to explain to my students 3D shapes and how they equal to be quadrilaterals, and they all have 4 sides. From the beginning of the video, that was my concept, and at the end of the video, I think I was able to express exactly how I would show them and that they would be able to understand the concept, and I hope you enjoy.